Yeah, Ewok. I mean, yeah, you already alluded to it, and I do think, and again, I was saying this last week, even before some of these more major pumps, but the sentiment in the market right now, and people just seeming to think that an FTX collapse type of situation just goes down, monthly or something like that. Just the sentiment that we are seeing in the market, how down everybody has been on it. And it is, of course, now a week or two later, starting to kind of flip around a little bit, I think. But people are so negative on crypto right now, and the overwhelming majority of folks are expecting still new lows. I ran a poll last week on the YouTube channel. They had about 250 votes or so that 80% of people still thought the lows were not in yet. So, to me, just based on that sentiment and where we've been and the fact that people are just constantly looking for these catalysts that will be the new leg down, none of which I think are anywhere near as impactful as the FTX thing. Not only that, but like we're going to get into the Genesis stuff, who are pretty much already filing for bankruptcy, which we all expected. I think a lot of this stuff is just becoming priced in at this point. Number one, I don't think it is as impactful as the FTX stuff. But also, I mean, we've been thinking that Genesis was going to go bankrupt for like a month now, or if not more. But anyway, I know you still believe we have lower to go. I am basically at probably 80% feeling like the bottom is probably in for Bitcoin in this bear market. So, what do you think? What do you have to say? And I know chart pulled up there a minute ago too.
Yeah, you want me to pull the chart up? Give me a second. I don't think we've gotten there. I don't think we've felt max pain. I know the sentiment when everybody thinks one way, it's wise to be a contrarian, but I don't think in this case. I think the space is still filled with quite educated people. That's pretty much all that's left. I don't see too many people that haven't been here before. But that was the hex price. So we're looking at Bitcoin. And I was just mentioning to you, I drew this blue line right at 21,535 last week on stream before we had this little run up. And I thought that would be a very major area of resistance. And sure enough, it wicked up into it and hit it and just bounced right back down. So I still think this was a bull trap. So I still see more downside. I don't know what will cause it. I really don't. But I think there's going to be another event that triggers the downside even further. I don't think when these companies file bankruptcy, I don't know how much liquidating they have to do. I don't know what they have in their arsenal to cover lawyer fees and things like that. As I said with FTX, there wasn't a whole lot of negative pressure, maybe sentiment, but not selling pressure.
Right.
So we still haven't had that major event that caused major downside, like we did in 2018 at the near the mid-year end of year there, at the end of the market when it went down to 3,000. It did bounce around. If we take a look back at it, it bounced quite a bit before it made that. Where are we at here? We got to go back a ways. It bounced around a lot in here before it made that final plummet down to 3,100 there.
Right.
So I think we're probably, this triangle's a little bit off. It could have been a little bit bigger, but I still think we've got a ways to go yet. Some more bouncing sideways up and down before we make that final capitulation down.
Just my
thoughts.
Well, yeah. Well, I definitely agree that, I think we're going to get like more boring-ish trading like within a specific channel like that. I just don't feel, I mean, you even kind of saw it with this pump a little bit. Like after we got to 20K, I mean, people that are sidelined and have been sidelined literally since the summer are going to FOMO in at some point, and I just, I guess I just don't, and I agree. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't know how much was actually liquidated when it comes to FTX, but what is that comparison as far as crypto that's being held by an exchange or by Genesis? And I know Genesis is obviously a large number, just compared to retail as a whole, and just a point where it's like there are going to be buyers at some prices.
Sure.
I just think we have been time wise so far into this, and I'm not. I don't want to chop this up.
Is it the time? Is it the time that's getting you feeling that we've been here long enough, and the time is what gives you the impression that it's almost over? Or
I was literally just going to say, yeah, like I just want to, chalk it up to some kind of, I don't want to call it like wizardry or whatever, but like, yeah, just like 4-year cycles panning out, basically. Just that is what has tended to happen, and we can assign all of these different narratives to it, which I do frankly hate doing. I hate in any market, because traditionally, if you are assigning a narrative to something, you're already late anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's already been happening, or somebody's already ahead of you. Just look at this garbage we had happen today, which we'll probably talk about for a couple seconds anyway. But this huge announcement by the DOJ, let's give them a round of applause. They took down some gigantic exchange that apparently like 4 people have heard of. And you saw the price like tanking the hour or two leading into that, because just off of like
the fear.
A tweet. Well, yeah, and just a tweet that was like a huge international enforcement on cryptocurrency coming today by the DOJ, and it's like calling it a nothing burger would even be an insult. It was literally completely irrelevant.
Yeah, I heard the name of it, and I'm like, what the hell's that? I had never heard of that exchange before.
Right.
I can't even remember what it was called, but
Blitzkrieg or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Blitz Boy. I don't know.
Bitslotto.
There you go. Bitslotto. Yeah.
I never heard of it. There were some rumors the other day, and I heard this kind of floating around, that the reason, one of the reasons that this pump was happening was because, I don't know if you remember last week, or maybe it was a week and a half ago, how all the FAA systems went down. They had to cancel a ton of flights. Somebody had speculated that there possibly was a hack, and the hackers asked for a ton of Bitcoin, which caused the price to go up like that. Now, I don't know. It's interesting. And now we see this Russian exchange go down a week or so later. Was there something about that? Or, it's hard to say. All pure speculation at this point, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was quite weird how they said that, these, and they might have even said Russian hackers are the ones that were responsible, but they didn't come out and say that. Obviously, they don't want to create fear, knowing that somebody can take down the air control,
right,
towers at any given time.
Yeah, some of the narrative stuff I tend not to buy, because like if the market at large, and if Twitter and everybody is talking about it, like I said, I think chances are it's already in there somewhere. You know what I mean? It's already somehow priced into the market, and we're looking at what are actually lagging instead of leading metrics, I guess, if you will. But I mean, nobody's Nostradamus. I mean, you can't say for sure whether. And that's what I really hate. I know we've banged on this a lot, but like, I really hate people that are out there, I might as well just call them by name at this point, because they're such a meme, but like a couple of huge Twitter Bitcoin trader accounts that are just constantly beating the same drum. And it's more so for just like engagement farming and stuff like that, I'm sure. And just, commenting on other people's tweets that don't even have anything to do with what they're talking about to try to get their word out and everything. It's just kind of like you don't actually know what's going to happen, so please stop talking in certainties. That's what I can't stand. It's
sure.
You have to keep an open mind. Like, you've already lost if you're like guaranteeing something, and if it's all about like looking correct on Twitter at the end of the day, I mean, who gives a shit, really? I mean, who cares? Like, is there a more worthless metric than looking right on Twitter? I just can't imagine that, but.
Yeah, it's a show. It's all for clicks. It's clickbait, whatever. It means nothing.
Yeah.
You're right.